This is a background information for AP Lab number 11, Transpiration. Seeded plants have three organs, root, stem, and leaves. The function of the root is obtaining water and nutrients from the soil and anchor the plant. The stem's function is transporting nutrients, water, and sugar along the plant and support the leaves for photosynthesis. Leaves are making food for through photosynthesis, and their job is also gas exchange, carbon dioxide and oxygen exchange for the plant. There are three plant tissues that we have to get a little bit familiar with. The dermal tissue, that its function is protecting the outer cover of the plant and covering the leaves and the stem. They are secreting the waxy cuticle. Example for the epidermis. The other tissue is the vascular tissue that is responsible for transporting material, water and nutrients throughout the plant, as well as sugar. The xylem carries the water and the nutrient and the minerals, and the phloem carries the glucose. The ground tissue is the third type of a plant tissue that makes the sugar, like the palisade mesophyll, as well as the spongy mesophyll, and also stores sugar, for example, in the stem. Focusing on the roots first, a little bit. The root can be taproot or fibrous root. The taproot system are found mainly in dicots and consist of large primary root and many smaller branches. And the fibrous root, mainly found in monocots and consist of many equally sized branch roots. They help prevent topsoil from being washed away, so it's really valuable, specifically in the Midwest when we had the grassland, the ecosystem, the grassland. The roots anatomy. So here is a big root, and the outer layer is called the epidermis. Perform a double function, protection and absorption. Some of the cells have long extensions, and they are called the root hair. The function of the root hair is to increase the surface area for absorption. Inside of the root is the vascular tissue that contains the xylem and the phloem. Xylem for the water, phloem for the sugar. And the vascular tissue is covered by the endodermis. Endodermis is a very water-tight layer of the cells. Water cannot seep through the between the cracks, just only through the cells, and they don't let the water move in two directions. Just only the water can get into the vascular system. It cannot leave it. The endodermis forms the Casparian strip that is a waterproof material that doesn't let actually controls the water and nutrients that enter the vascular system, and ensuring that nutrients do not leak out. The greens are the ground tissue cortex, or the cortex that stores material. That area is the meristem, is stem cells, unspecified cells that they can turn into whatever tissue they are needed for the root as the root grows. So by active transport, the root hair picks up the sodium and potassium ions, and the water follows the ions by osmosis. The water goes from a high water potential to a low water potential. Recall the water potential equals to the pressure potential in the cell or from the outside, as well as the solute pressure. So the water pressure has to be lower inside, so the water would go from the outside to inside through osmosis. So the root pressure inside of the vascular cylinder is basically pulls the water into the cells, and they don't let it to go outside. Stems and leaves, stems, not a big deal. Leaves, we will deal with that in class. And the last one is the transpiration, the water transport inside of the plant. The question is, what really drives the water movement inside of the plant? Plants, so here's the tree and the roots and the leaf on the branches, and the leaf's back surface contains stoma, that is an opening for water, oxygen, and carbon dioxide exchange. Water goes into the root through osmosis, following the active transport of the ions. The water after that moves upward by adhesion and cohesion, and these adhesion and cohesion gives the capillary action for the water. And the negative pressure, as the water evaporates through the stoma from the spongy mesophyll, creates a negative pressure, so the water will go upward. The root pressure is also paying attention, just contributes to the transpiration, as well as the Casparian strip that does not let water leak out back into the soil. That's it for today.